My brain's gonna explode. There's something sinister afoot, absolutely.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Slightly Biased Show here at the incredible Haymaker Studios on Haymaker Network. If you guys are not subscribed to the Haymaker Network, link down below. Make sure you guys do it. If you guys haven't liked this stream, make sure you hit that like button. It helps out tremendously. It really is. It's the best way to support any channel, any of them. Okay, if you guys like any channels out there that you like, the liking goes such a long way. It really is remarkable. So make sure you hit that like button. And if you're listening on any audio platforms, make sure you leave a review, yada, 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 so on and so forth. If you are looking for your Dallas Cowboys fix, ladies and gentlemen, I have the place for you right here. We're going to dive deep into the Dallas Cowboys today. No, I'm just kidding. The One Star Podcast presented by Haymaker. Out every week on YouTube and all podcast platforms every Wednesday. NFL free agency kicked off this week, and somehow Max Crosby, he's still available. KT and the Athletics, John Machota and Sad Yusuf will break it all down for you, including an Oscars preview, which we might get into on today's show a little bit. One Star Podcast right here on Haymaker Network. Go give it a watch, listen, and a 1-star while you're there, but make it 5-star. Don't leave a 1-star review. Actually, I don't know how that works. There's some logic and some talk amongst YouTube experts, of which I am obviously, that even downvotes and dislikes are good. I don't know how that works for the podcasting sphere. It would be kind of funny. Like if we found out that it didn't matter that likes, like what your rating was, as long as you were getting ratings, it would be kind of funny if the 1-star podcast had a 1-star rating. Like it would be kind of ironic in a funny way.
I would love that across the board. I think it's best being the best at anything. If we're the most 1-star network, then let's do it.
Actually, guys, go ahead and dislike the stream right now.
Turn us off. Whatever.
Can we make this the most disliked video in YouTube history? When are you hitting those Elden Ring free throws? You guys got so excited the moment I said dislike it. I'm looking to find a gym. It's actually taken a little bit longer than I thought. I used to have access actually to a private gym, and that access no longer exists. So it's become a little bit more of a problem than I originally thought. But we do have a good show for you guys today that I'm pumped about. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the NBA happenings last night. I'm ready to say goodbye to a couple teams I'm just done with, right? We'll see them in the playoffs. Probably like one of these teams, maybe not. Actually, both of these teams, maybe not. But we'll talk about that a little bit. Conference tournaments are heating up. The Big 12 conference tournament's going on right now. My Red Raiders are getting their asses handed to them. They're playing on a glass LED court. It's actually kind of crazy to watch. I think it's actually cooler than I was anticipating it to be. But we're going to have Ari Timken join. He's Big 12 Radio. He's going to join us in about 30 minutes. We're going to talk a little bit about the Big 12 tournament. We're going to talk about some of these draft prospects that are playing in this tournament or have played in this tournament. Maybe they've been eliminated already because the Big 12 is just swimming with legit NBA draft talent this year. So I'm excited to talk about that. AJ Deanza, obviously, Christian Anderson playing right now. You've got Darren Peterson. Who else? There was 3. Kingston Flemings. I mean, so many great guys that these guys will be options for the Mavericks here in a couple of months, hopefully. Right, hopefully. So that's going to be interesting and fun to talk about. We also might do some Oscars stuff. Oscars Sunday. I'm looking at the list of the ballot right here. It could be kind of fun to fill this out. Although I will say I haven't watched all of these. I have seen some of them, but it could be kind of fun to go over this as we get ready for that on Sunday. And yeah, that's Miami of Ohio lost. Yeah, that's going to be really interesting because they were a bubble team already, weren't they? Despite the fact that they were undefeated, they're now a bubble team. Just because their record was so bad and they lost in the quarterfinals of their conference tournament, not good. So a team that has one loss on the year, that being in their conference tournament, might not make March Madness, which is kind of crazy to think about. Is that not, am I not wrong? Wasn't that kind of the thought process surrounding them? A quick little Tankathon update just because it's relevant. What the hell is that? That wasn't what I wanted to show you guys. Quick Tankathon update. While I figure out what the hell that even was. The Mavs are now 6th. The Pelicans are on a 2-game win streak. They're 7-3 in their last 10 games. The Mavs have lost 8 straight. They have lost. Are we up to 18 of their last 20? Because that's sickening. 18 of their last 20 games. Is that right? That's right. Lord have mercy on all of us. They're now up to 6. The Jazz, I thought for a little bit last night, looked like they might beat the Knicks, but I don't know. The Jazz are going to be hard, man. They're going to be hard to catch. But we got a big game coming up tonight. Mavs, Grizzlies. Mavs are actually favorites in this. I can't believe this is my life, truth be told. I'd say the Mavs feel pretty safe as at bare minimum a top 6 team with potential to make it into the top 5. What's good? Slightly later draft for making it outside of your community makes me laugh. Yeah, I know. That is hilarious. That really is funny. I was having an argument today in the group chat we have with DLLS and Locked On guys. Because I'm in there and I'm getting deep into it with Isaac. Isaac's a big grind the tape nerd. And I've been telling him, I'm like, I'm going nothing but data, right? That's it. I'm not watching. I was talking about A-Cuff in there today. And he was like, what's your least favorite A-Cuff game? And I was like, I'm not watching, right? Just point me to a 6'2" bad defensive guard working in the NBA. Point me to them. Where are they? Do they exist? And all the options you lay out. All of them. Trae Young, 1 conference finals, traded. Darius Garland, 0 conference finals, traded. Jalen Brunson, 1 conference finals. His team had to trade an entire decade worth of draft picks to make up for his defensive deficiencies. 1 conference final as the main guy, to be fair. Tyrese Maxey, 0 conference finals. Not really his fault. Damian Lillard, 1 conference finals, traded. Steph Curry, doesn't count. Kyrie Irving, Steph Curry, perfectly good defensive players, believe it or not. Speaking of drafts, did you catch that one Houston draft guy talking about dicks in my ass? I did see that. Oh, man. Is there any way to pull up that clip? That shit is hilarious. It was dicks in my ass. It's goofy. It's silly. Is that a real player? It's not a real player, is it?
No chance.
There aren't a lot of big name
know.
tight ends anymore. Everyone would love to have Kenyon Sadiq, but I don't think there aren't a lot of big name tight ends anymore. Everyone would love to have Kenyon Sadiq, but I don't think that's going to happen. So we'll see. I think that Dixon, my ass, is definitely Swarm. I think he would fit in. Blake Fisher, swing tackle. Absolutely.
Oh, man. This is actually an interesting moment for all of us to kind of learn from. Here's the thing, and I'm realizing this when we're talking about college draft guys. There is simply no real way to be like so plugged into college sports that you're watching all of these guys with the regularity you need to have real strong opinions on them without consulting the spreadsheets, right? Because watching 1 or 2 games of these guys is not going to tell you much of anything. You really need to watch their whole body of work. And unless that's your job, you're not going to be able to do that. But also, you need to be able to watch the professionally to see where the league is heading, to see where it's going. So, yeah, I can watch Darius Acuff play in college basketball and be like, yeah, that's a really good college basketball player. He's a bad defensive player, and he's a small guard. And guess what? I watch a lot of the NBA. These guys don't work. They don't work. The track record for them is for them working. It's not good. And on top of that, so many things have to go right. So many things have to go right for these guys to pan out that it just scares me a little bit. Because I've seen, there was a Twitter thread earlier, Mavs Highlights posted it, that if the Mavs got the 4th pick, right, I think Caleb Wilson would be the clear and obvious choice because he's the best player there, right? But there were some people who were like, just take Acuff. We're not doing it. We're not taking them. They might take them. I'm not taking them. Okay? Lider, we were just talking about your draft board. I'm really getting deep into the draft stuff, guys. I really am. Somebody please explain to me, LeBaron Philon, why the fuck is he not, out of all of these guard guys, which all of them have scary, kind of scary weaknesses that you could really talk yourself into them not panning out. You could talk yourself into them panning out for sure. But LeBaron, to me, feels like one of the best of the bunch. Okay? There's a track record for him being good defensively last year, and offensively, he's been fantastic this year. Bad combine testing. Okay. I know that he last year he went to the combine, ended up not going to the draft, obviously, but he's small. That's his thing, right? He's skinny, the frame. That's what I'm saying. The idea that this is a super loaded guard draft, I do kind of agree. Some of these guys will absolutely hit, but it's scary. All of these guys have glaring weaknesses that make them horrifying, especially for a Mavs team that really can't afford a swing and miss. Like, they have to hit. I'm praying on my hands and knees the Mavs get a top 4 pick, because if not, it's a little spooky. Just going to be real with you. I agree with your assessment that small guards don't work. Maybe having flag would negate the typical issues that come with small guards, especially if small guard brings playmaking and shooting. So I was thinking about this earlier. I actually think Acuff is an interesting pairing next to somebody like Kyrie, because Acuff has like real good off-ball stuff. Like he's one of the best catch and shoot guys in the entire country. So that's interesting. Obviously, he's an uber talented offensive. Like, I don't want to take anything away from the dude. Uber talented offensive player. And it's fun. He has aura and he has hype. But also at the same time, I watch the NBA. I've seen it. These guys, they don't really pan out. So many things have to break their way. And the moment one single thing doesn't work out, whether that's their three-point shooting, like it never really gets there, or they don't take enough threes, whatever the case may be. Like, we're experiencing this right now at the Mavs in Brandon Williams, who's a good player. Like, probably the Mavs' best player, right? The way that he's played this year. Great first step. Gets 2 feet in the paint every single time. What's his problem? He doesn't shoot threes. And it's a big problem, right? It's a real big problem. And it really limits his ceiling as a player, right? So many things have to go right for these guys. Now, if Brandon Williams were 6'5" and like played a little bit of defense, that changes. He's making $20 million a year. That's just it. Or if Brandon Williams shot threes, he's making a lot of money. That's it. One small thing doesn't go right for these guys, and their ceiling is greatly capped. That's why I'm just a little bit worried about it. Most obvious Acuff stinker in playoffs. Yeah, I mean, again, he's really good. Phylon looks good, but what guard would you take above from the current bunch? I mean, dude, I talked myself into Phylon over pretty much all of them except Fleming's. Fleming's I'm pretty in on, because out of all of the guys, I trust in him probably the most. And I'm interested to have Ari come on, because he's a Big 12 guy, and he can explain a little bit more about Fleming's to us. He seems to be the best defender of the bunch, right? London Hoops with the 199. Phylon is 6'2", 3 3/4. My draft rule is 6'3" without shoes. Phylon really 6'2"? 6'5" Acuff with defense is dangerously closer to Booker. We were just describing a completely different player. But I do agree. Bam has entered the GOAT debate. Absolutely. 100%. And actually, have we talked about Jokic? Jokic's legacy just took a giant step forward. Because now, in 20 years, right? Because right now, when we talk about Jokic's ring, it's like, yeah, but that was like, that Nuggets team was the best in the league. They were going to win it no matter what, probably. But yeah, dude, they got kind of a cupcake sort of run. Like, they had one of the best, easiest final runs we've seen in quite some time. Now you can say, Bam Adebayo, 83 points. Demon Jokic walked him down. Okay? Demon Jokic walked him down. I think the offensive upside for both Mikal and Wagler is higher than Phylon, which is what makes them more alluring to me as prospects. Both have their respective risks, though. Yeah, I mean, Mikal Brown, I think my hair is honestly nice enough that I should be getting paid to talk about it. But yeah, ideal starting lineup next year if we have the 5th overall pick. 5th overall pick, I think you got to take Fleming's, correct? That's almost got to be it. 5th overall. Fleming's, and then next year you're looking at Fleming's, Kyrie. Fleming's been mid. Yeah, he has had a rough stretch recently. Fleming's, Kyrie. I mean, I could talk myself into the Mavs being good next year pretty quickly. That's how trash I am. Right now, I'm like, I hate this team. I hate them. I was in the group text earlier. I was like, if the Mavs get the 5th pick and draft Acuff, I'm done. I'm walking away. That'll be it for me. I don't know if I can, in good faith, continue to go on. I don't know if I could sit here in good faith and look you guys in the eyes and tell you to root for the Dallas Mavericks. I couldn't do that. I really couldn't. Right? Of course, all of a sudden, though, I would talk myself into it. then I would transition into talking myself into it very quickly. But at the time, I would hate it. Acuff is him, bro. What's his? So I continuously ask this: What is his highest ceiling? What is it? What is the best case scenario? Darius Acuff, who's graded out as a negative defensive player on the year. By the way, the track record for guys like that, regardless, is not good. That's a big concern for AJ Deanza too. But graded out as a negative defensive player who is small. What is the track record for these guys? It's not. And by the way, if the Mavs somehow get the 8th or 9th pick, okay, Acuff, whatever. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We kind of got shafted with the lottery, right? Like that's fine to me. But I don't know, man. Can we make a poll on Acuff or Flemings? Well, I feel like most people in here would be Flemings. All right. We're going to be joined right now, actually, by Ari Timken, who works for the Big 12 Radio, is at the Big 12 tournament. And we got a lot to go over. The tournament is going on right now. Is that game over already?
Pretty much. This game was Iowa State and Texas Tech was 33-33 heading into halftime. And since that moment, Iowa State has outscored Texas Tech 32-12.
Yeah.
So, and look, Iowa State has kind of a home court advantage here in Kansas City, at what they call Hilton South, and it's loud. I mean, there's a ton of Texas Tech fans here, but being overwhelmed by Iowa State. So Iowa State always balls out in this tournament.
Give it to me straight about my Red Raiders. Is their ceiling greatly limited without Obi topping out, or not Obi topping, Jesus, topping out there?
Love Obi Toppin.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yes. Short answer, yes. And, unfortunately, they just lost Lawan Watts to an injury, and looks like Christian Anderson as well, Christian Anderson is as good of a guard as there is in the country. Yeah, right. So not a great game for them, not a great second half. Grant McCas is one of my favorite coaches in college basketball. And I love to be here and to watch him. I don't get a chance to be on the sidelines for many games throughout the year because I live in Dallas, and so traveling a lot is just not something I do. But I love being here in the tournament to see all these coaches in action. McCas is one of my favorite. Like his activity during games, the interplay between the bench, it's sort of a new age way to coach. I love it. Like he's got a defensive coordinator, he's got an offensive coordinator. It's almost more like a football sideline than it is basketball with McCaslin. So, bad luck the last couple of years. If you remember, Chance McMillan got hurt in the Big 12 tournament, and that kind of derailed what I thought was potential Final Four team for Tech last year. So, but again, I think Grant's going to get one of these days. He'll get to a Final Four and beyond. So I'm optimistic about them in the future. But yeah, this year it's tough, bad luck.
Bad luck. Yeah, it's just been bad luck for my Red Raiders, man. But yeah, everything I've heard about him is that he's a psycho, but in the best way imaginable. Like how you want your coaches to be a psycho.
Yeah, and he's like super personable and like great, really nice guy. But yeah, on the court, he's a demon, man. He's like a man possessed. Like he's a hell of a coach. Like he demands a lot. And, again, I love the way that he coaches. I think there's sort of this, old guard college coach of like stalking the sideline. And it's just way more inclusive for Texas Tech from the standpoint of like, you watch their bench, like they've got a constant huddle amongst the coaches and they're figuring things out. They got a whiteboard. They're throwing stuff up on the whiteboard, offensive sets, defensive sets. Sometimes it's just to throw off the opposition in terms of what they write there. There's a lot going on. And again, I think like Todd Golden at Florida, Grant McCaslin at Texas Tech, like there are some of these new age coaches that are just doing things totally differently than they've ever been done before at this level.
Yeah, I mean, the Big 12 is just loaded. How many tournament teams do you think the Big 12 is going to be sending out there next week?
8, and they're all playing today. It's the only league in which all 8, every tournament team is playing in one day. So I think West Virginia and Cincinnati were bubble teams. I'm not sure they're going to make it. West Virginia is 500 in the Big 12, and I think there's like a streak of 76 consecutive teams that were 500 that would make the NCAA tournament, but I don't think West Virginia is going to make it. So, and Cincinnati needed to at least win yesterday, and they did not play well at the end. So, yeah, it's going to be 8 teams, and I don't think there will be much suspense on Selection Sunday.
So the Big 12 tournament court was this huge talking point for weeks, and honestly, I was watching. I think it's pretty sick.
It is. I mean, it's and like what they're doing now with it, like on dunks. Like
Yeah.
like the glass shatters in the paint, and like it's just a lot of. I mean, like projecting videos on it. It's. I have no doubt in my mind that every single NBA and every single Power Five conference team in America in the next 5 to 10 years will have a court like that. I mean, the sponsorship opportunities are limitless. The entertainment opportunities, and then think about like the practical implications. If you have a huddle on a sideline and you got a coach that draws up a play on the court, where you're huddling, like there's just so many potential opportunities with it moving forward. Again, I think, and ASB Glass 4 is in partnership with the NBA, so they're growing it together. I think there's probably a lot they'll take from this in terms of like getting the real competition, on these courts. And there's probably still some things to work out, but I think again, the next 5 to 10 years, those will be standardized across the NBA and college basketball.
And I like the sort of grayish kind of concrete feel that the color of the court has. Like I like it when the Nets did that a few years ago at their city court, and they kind of had the gray. It looks good. It looks good on the TV. That's what I was worried about, is that on TV it wouldn't look nice, but it really does look good. Shockingly.
Yeah, no, I agree. And like last year, they had this. They called it like the Louis Vuitton look with the 12 and Roman numerals, and it was stamped across the entire court. And this year, like they've done it a little bit, but it's been between the 3-point line, so kind of in the middle of the court. No, I think it's cool. I mean, I think it looks great. And obviously we'll see if it becomes a major talking point with guys slipping and Christian Anderson or whatever else happens with him.
That's right. Yeah. Who was it yesterday? Somebody made a comment about the court being a little too slippery.
Yeah, it's been like the women played in it in the Big 12 Women's Championship last week, and there were some concerns about that. Kansas State, who's had a miserable year, and like they were complaining. One of the guys said he like had like migraine symptoms from it, which sounds
interesting, like a Havana syndrome. There's radiating microwaves,
right? Like, sure, but it's also like maybe it's the right message, probably the wrong messenger when you've had like such a miserable year and like you're obviously mad about losing and like your season being over, but just complain about the court, I guess. Man, that's the deal.
That's a nice segue because BYU played Kansas State. Was that yesterday or 2 days ago?
Who did? Man, these days and games all slip. This is the third straight day of quadruple headers.
Crazy.
It's a lot of basketball. It is
crazy.
If you like basketball,
it's crazy.
The Big 12 tournament in Kansas City.
If you go on a run, you have to play what, like 4 or 5 straight days. If you're like one of the lower seeds.
Right. No, I mean, and that's why you look at like the top 5 teams in the Big 12. I mean, Iowa State is the 5 seed in this tournament. And that's a top 3 seed in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
So like Texas Tech is basically playing like what the equivalent is of an Elite 8 game here in their first day playing in the quarterfinals. So getting that double bye as a top 4 seed is hugely important. You mentioned BYU, like they're a 10 seed here. So I mean they've had to play 2 straight days.
Yeah. That's crazy. So I'm a big NBA guy, right? And the NBA draft's right on the corner. The Mavericks are god awful, so we're really kind of zeroing in on the draft. There's so many great draft prospects in the Big 12. So I just want to sort of pick your brain a little bit about these guys because Darren Peterson to me seems like such a special player. And I don't know, have you gotten the chance to see him up close this year?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm a KU grad as well, so
okay.
I've got a lot of feelings on Darren Peterson.
Okay, interesting. Because I've seen his high school clips, obviously. And then I see, watch him play this year. And to me, it does look like someone who's probably 60%, 70%. But the fact that he still performs at the level he does, I think to me, he's a clear-cut top 2 guy in the draft. And I'm interested to hear your perspective on him because some people are out entirely.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, I was of the opinion in December that KU should just pay him his $3.5 million and say like, bye, see ya. Like, this has been fun, and that I'd still take him number 1 overall. Like, let me just say that. Like, really, without a doubt, without a doubt, he's the top player of this draft. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And look, I love AJ, but this draft is incredible. I mean, and you just hit on it in terms of the freshmen in particular, especially in this conference. And they were guys that we thought about coming into the year. Darren Peterson, AJ, Chris Sinak at Houston. But then there have been guys, Koa Pete. Then there have been guys that emerged throughout the year. Braden Berry's from Arizona. Kingston Flemings was a guy that we knew about coming into the year, but didn't realize he was this good.
Yeah.
And then there was like freshmen that aren't even going to be in this draft or might not, based on how good the draft is at the top. The thing I like about Peterson, and he hasn't really shown that a ton this year because Kansas has first been playing basically with two separate teams, and they've sort of been molding those two teams into one team over this last stretch of the season. But much of what we expected to see from Peterson this year, he is a legit, downhill, like can get to the rim. There's no way you're stopping him. He can facilitate. He can shoot. He is as good of a defender as there is. Like he is a legitimate every tool sort of player. We just haven't seen it this year as much. And so, yeah, maybe it's like you said, it's 60%. Maybe, the cramping issues and some of the mental part of that and things you start to hear about, like just intense cramping that has caused some sort of mental anguish on him based on like potential that happening again. But I think ultimately, like earlier this year when Bill Self had to coach basically two different teams, we saw a guy that was more of a perimeter player, and he didn't really scratch the surface of his potential. But as they've sort of molded this team into one, because he's playing heavy minutes now and playing minutes like he should have been playing all year, we're starting to really see this team play together where he's now getting to the rim, he's distributing, he's being a facilitator. And he's so dynamic in that way. Like he's got great vision. Again, like nobody could stop him getting to the rim when he wants to. And I don't think that's just like a college level thing. Like that's kind of been his thing in his career. And then he's smooth. Like he's one of the most smooth scorers I've ever seen. So, I don't know if there will be an actual debate with whoever has the first pick on who will be the first pick. Because I'd imagine like the biggest part of this process is going to be the interview. I think most people would view him as 1-1, but maybe some of the stuff that's gone down this year would be the reason that he'd slide to 2 or 3. But I think once the interview process is behind him and you have the draft combine, I think he's going to be the number 1 overall pick and should be.
Interesting.
It's just my allegiance to Kansas where I'm like, this guy's not bigger than the university, right? Like Will Chamberlain played at Kansas. James Naismith invented the sport and he's the only losing coach in the history of Kansas. So I'm kind of like one of those where it's like, you're not bigger than the university. Go, like take your money and go. I'd rather lose to the guys who want to be here. Yeah. But that to me doesn't take away anything from the fact that he's an elite talent that will be the number 1 pick.
So as time's gone on, has there been any clarity on that situation? Is it like a cramping thing? Because some people are worried there might be like degenerative hamstring stuff. I guess we'll find out like when the draft gets closer and these teams are doing their medicals. But yeah, the way that you describe him, the way everyone describes him, when you watch him when he's playing at the level he's playing, it is like, okay, I watched the NBA. This is a clear-cut superstar in the making with the shooting and the ability to get to the rim and the defense. Like this is the type of guard you want in the league. It is just a little scary with the hamstring stuff.
Yeah. Look, I think genuinely more than anything, like this whole situation has been a PR disaster.
Yeah.
His parents, his agent, pretty much every move they've made from a PR perspective has been the wrong move.
There's parents.
And
there's overbearing parents involved.
Yes, and look, that's no different than a lot of kids in the same situation. I just think like they've tried to manage the PR part of it. They've just done such a poor job of it. And and then when they do, like when he did speak, he basically was like, I'm kind of a loner and a loser. It's like, whoa, that didn't go
I didn't
well
like
either.
that answer.
The whole thing has been a PR disaster.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like, if they just manage that side of it and like, there's been so much of a mystery with what's been going on. And I think that's caused not only confusion, but a lot of distrust from the university and from fans. And that's, again, like you've got a very strong fan base. Like Kansas is one of the few schools in the country where like football does not drive the bus in any capacity whatsoever. It is basketball all the time.
Yeah.
And so like when you've got fans that are kind of hearing weird things about different, and there's a lot of like nuance there that's not being shed. It's to me, that's more than anything like that. It's that PR part of this has been mismanaged. Like the agent has done a really poor job of it. His parents, I think they've just gotten either bad advice or whatever, but, and look, I also do think there's an element of like managing minutes here. And there's two sides to that. Right? Like as a KU fan, I hate it. Right.
Right.
You got to be for the name on the front of the jersey. But I mean, he's making reportedly $3.5 million this year. Okay. It's a lot of money. We're talking about what he's got coming for him, hundreds of millions of dollars. Right. So long term, it's nonsensical that he would, put himself in position to compromise that.
Right.
I get the competition standpoint, and what AJ is doing right now is the exact opposite. I mean, he's playing 38 minutes a game.
Yeah.
He's playing heavy minutes. So you see that and you think, I mean, competitively, like, why doesn't he want to be out there? It's like there's questions about that kind of stuff. But again, I get like the agent and their point of view in terms of like, don't go too crazy. Don't play too many heavy minutes. And the whole thing, again, has just been a mismanaged disaster from a PR standpoint.
Yeah, and I mean, hopefully, again, the NBA teams will have a much better idea of what's going on during the draft process. So I'm really interested to see how that all plays out. AJ Deanza is the betting favorite to win, or to go number 1 overall in the draft. I do have to ask, again, like college basketball is not my expertise, but I look at some of this stuff. Why? I can't quite, with Deanza, understand. And maybe there's a style of play thing going on. Why is his like block numbers so low? Why defensively is it so underwhelming for a guy who, when you watch, is just this unbelievable athlete, like unreal level athlete? The defense stuff is so underwhelming to me in a way that is a little alarming if I were thinking about him as a 101 guy.
No, I think you're right. And so I think there's a couple of things at play here potentially with him, because you're right in terms of like his explosiveness and his athleticism. Like he should be a big time shot blocker. BYU has a terrible defense, and like has all year. Part of this to me is about usage. So they had a big three, if you will, with Rob Wright, their sophomore point guard who transferred from Baylor, AJ Deanza, and then Richie Saunders, who is up for Player of the Year last year in the Big 12. And Saunders went down with an injury, but even before the injury with Saunders, like the usage rate for AJ was so high because it was just the big three that had to basically score all the time, and their defense had been so bad, like in the hundreds in terms of the Ken Paul metrics. So like it's almost like they need, and so now it's even worse. No Saunders, he's got to do it all on offense.
Right.
So I think part of this is probably just a usage rate thing of like you got to take your breaks on the defensive end because your usage rate is so high. I mean, he scored 40 points. BYU had 105 points, and it's like that's basically what they need to do every night for them to have a chance to win because their defense is so bad and they just don't have enough scoring. So, I don't want to sit here and say like he couldn't be a good high-level defender. And I think given the right system, that's the other part to this that I'm just not sure. Like I think Kevin Young is a really good coach. He comes from the NBA. He was thought of for the Nets job. He's got that NBA background. Like I love the offense they run the sets. Like it's I love what BYU does. I think their coach is great, but defensively they've been a mess, and I think that's schematic. And so I think like that's also part of this too. Is like sometimes defenses, like having good individual defenders doesn't matter if you if you don't have the right if you don't have the right philosophy on defense. And I think that's something that BYU has to adjust. So I kind of give AJ a pass. But I think those questions are there, and probably a big reason why Peterson will go number 1 overall over him. But I just think the usage rate is so high where like he's got to find his spots to take some possessions off on defense because he's doing everything on offense. And I also think like schematically, BYU doesn't really have a great scheme defensively because they've just been bad all year in defense.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how it's going to be such an interesting draft because there doesn't seem to be for anyone a consensus number 1 guy. So those arguments are going to be real interesting. Okay, before we let you go, you can get back to work. Is there any under the radar guy in the Big 12 that you think people should be looking at more? Not even necessarily as an NBA draft guy, just kind of in general.
Masamba Diop at Arizona State is a freshman that, like, man.
Any relation to Deanza Diop?
That's a good question. I don't know. But like he's a big man that can step out and shoot threes. Arizona State was really bad this year, but like when they beat Kansas, they beat Texas Tech in those games. Like this is a dude that's legit 7-footer, can play inside, can play outside. I don't know if you know much about Flory Bidunga, but he's an NBA prospect from Kansas, big time athlete. Defense Player of the Year in the Big 12. But like when I look at his game versus Diop's, like it's not even close in terms of the ability to step out and shoot. Just more of a perimeter game, which obviously in today's NBA world, like you just can't have a more traditional center that be Dungas. So he's a guy in Jop that's going to go back to college. And I think that's probably the right move considering this draft is so loaded. But yeah, when we think about this freshman class, he's like a footnote on it. And there's a lot of good ones. Isaiah Johnson's another one out of Colorado who will probably be back, but big time score. He loads it up. So, it's crazy because we think about like the big guys and Flemings and Burries and Coapede and Derek Peterson, AJ DeBonsa, but like there's so many across the country, but certainly in the Big 12.
That'll be interesting to watch because next year, a lot of people say next year's draft is far weaker than this one. So some of these freshmen coming back next year could really fly up their draft board for next year. So that's something to keep an eye on. Thank you very much for taking your time to come on here. Best of luck the rest of the day. Stay caffeinated. I know you got 8 games a day. Thanks for hopping on, man.
Appreciate you asking, man.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. Take care.
Wreck 'em. We'll be rooting for the Jayhawks too. I like seeing Darren Peterson go out there. But that was good. That was helpful information, for the draft nerds out there. I've been, dude, Darren Peterson. Anytime I see anything about Darren Peterson, if the Mavs get the number 1 overall pick, I think they should take Cam Boozer just because I think he's the best player. But man, the Darren Peterson stuff, woo, I don't know, man. If it comes out that he was kind of hurt throughout the course of the season, and he was still playing, and we've done our interviews, we've done our medicals, we have faith in him, we believe in him. I think him and Boozer are at least in the same tier. So that's sort of where I'm at. But man, the Big 12 and London Hoops. Don't worry, man. I saw your donation. We're gonna get to it. Don't think I left you out in the cold. London Hoops with the $9.99. I have fried my brain with data. Test for this draft. Flemings, Wagler, Philon, Burries is the only lotto guards we should take. Acuff and MBJ Jr., Mikael Brown Jr. Hell no. Straight 6'3". Anderson 6'1" are nice for that 15 to 23 region though. So Mikael Brown Jr., is it just the back injuries? Because what's his 3-point rate is obscene, isn't it? Yeah, he's shooting nearly his 3-point rate is nearly 15. So that intrigues me. His handle is fantastic for his size. I see real offensive upside there, real offensive like superstar upside. They have him listed at 6'5". I don't know if that's actually going to be what it is. But yeah, his defensive stuff's concerning too. But the back stuff is just, again, back to me. If you have a back problem, scary. If you're a big with feet problem, scary. Like I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. Is it Quaintance? Quaintance? How do you pronounce that? Jaden Quaintance. If this dude were healthy, and you guys know I'm a sucker for this type of player, he'd be in my top 4 probably. This big man who's just an unbelievable defensive player, unbelievable defensive prospect, good feel, good touch, good passing. I mean, these guys are right up my alley. Knee issues, knee problems. Goodbye.
Quaintance.
Hey, best of luck to you. Some team's going to draft you, and it might pan out. Right? It might pan out. But the knee problems for bigs, I can't do it. For the Mavs, I've been saying this. For the Mavs, they need to not draft based off of need because you need everything. I mean, really, if the idea is Cooper Flagg's going to turn into who we think he is, then he's very versatile. You can plug and play him in a lot of different ways. You need everything. Derek Lively, you just cannot rely on in any way, shape, or form. I would love to be able to. And outside of that, that's it, man. Max Christie's a 3-and-D guy. He doesn't impact your future team building at all. Right? It's not like, well, we got Max Christie here. No, it doesn't matter. Right? You get more of those guys if you can get them. Right? We don't need a center. Well, if Quaintance, okay. If center is the best option, and I mean, on the way that this draft board is, it's not going to be the best option for the Mavericks. At least not with their first pick. Maybe if you're at 30, right, or 29, whatever you end up being with that Thunder pick, and a big is the best player for you, you should take them. Like, you should take them. That's kind of the point I'm getting at. I keep seeing this, if there's a wing and looking at it, there's not, the 5 through 10 range is really bizarre because it really is mostly guards, right? It's like all guards, basically. So it does kind of match up with what you're doing here. And I'm just looking at like the draft board here with some of these guys. Again, I've still got some work to do. And again, we're data only. And don't let anybody poo-poo you. What do? You watch YouTube highlights. There's no way you watch enough. And then I would counter with this. All right, if all you do is watch college basketball and that's all you watch, you don't watch enough NBA to understand how these guys are going to translate. That's it. Boom. I got you. I have you backed into a corner. That's how you always win arguments, guys. I have you backed into a corner. Okay? I disagree with that. We have a surplus of wings. No. Listen, man, and straight up, if I were the Mavs GM, which again, a lot of people say I should be, you guys have seen it. I've sent my resume to Mark Cuban, never heard back. Pretty fucked up. Never once heard back. I sent him a 3.5 hour long YouTube video that was basically my resume and basically my selling point, where I won 12 rings as the GM of the team. Whatever. Banners hang forever. Anyways, if I were the GM of the team, let me just tell you right now, most of these guys are gone. And there's no point in even really like sugarcoating anymore. Almost everyone's for sale. I am actually trading most of the guys on the team because I'm just going to be real with you here. PJ and Coop, we've discussed this quite a bit. It's not a fit. And that's that. It's time to move on from PJ. There are teams out there that will probably give up a first-round pick for PJ Washington. Great. We'll do it. We'll take it. That's that. Gafford. If teams will give up a pick for Gafford, great. We're doing it. That's that. So, yeah, I think you need everything. I think you need all of it. London Hoops with the 199 again. Carr, not a legit point of attack defender, but two-way off-ball demon, 7'2" wingspan. I have heard Carr is getting a lot of buzz that I'm excited to look into him a little bit more. Jesus Christ. Hey, audio listeners, this is a chat member. Whenever I'm about to say is a username. Okay, it's a username that I'm about to say. I'm not saying it's a username. Pussy Liquor with the 199. How does that get through? YouTube. We just let anyone use. Thoughts, what? Thoughts on gay bitches. Oh my God.
It's working like 4 different levels.
Oh.
Your voice does get like glowing though when you're able to mention that handle.
Thoughts on Gabe Itches from Iowa? Yeah, I think that's a great pick at 30 for the Mavs. Let's do it. Steven with the 499. Do you think we could do the Unk still got it jump roping meme? Do I think I could do it? Hell no. Are you talking about the guy who's jumping off of his ass on the concrete over a jump rope? No chance in hell. I don't even know what muscle group is that activating and firing up. Would the Lakers give a first for PJ? I think that's possible. So anyways, unbelievable, man. Jesus. I mean, hilarious, right? 3 back-to-back donations. And these are the people who are supporting the channel. One of them a serious one. One asking if I can jump over a jump rope, and one asking me if I would draft Gabe Itches from Iowa.
It's a serious show.
Serious program, man. Serious program.
Let's get Ari back on and get his thoughts.
In the press room of the Big 12 tournament, every one of their press rooms listening in, they're like, what the fuck show are you just on, dude?
Hey, Ari, repeat after me.
Ari, are you familiar with Gabe Itches from Iowa? Flying up draft boards. Anyways, looking at this draft, this is just sort of this Tankathon big board here. A-Cuff at 6. Man, I don't know. Again, if you draft A-Cuff 8th or 9th, whatever, like that's just the route you decided to go. I'll talk myself into it, but I'm not optimistic there. Wagler. So Wagler's so intriguing to me because almost everything points like, yep, that's a real interesting player. Can shoot, can get to the free throw line. We love all of that. All of that stuff you look at and you're like, yes, that translates. That usually almost always translates into the NBA. We love it. Shooter, put it next to Cooper Flag. Boom, stamp it in with some size. But his athleticism is dreadful. 6'6" and hasn't dunked once this year. What am I supposed to do with that information, huh? What am I supposed to with a 4-year-old vert? Yeah, I mean, that's a little spooky. That becomes a bit of a hard sell right there immediately. Mikal Brown Jr. has back problems, but I love some of what he does. I love the fact that he just bombs away from 3. I love the fact that he's, he has great handle, good size, not very good defensively, back problems. Spooky. Nate Ament. Why is Nate Ament 9th overall? I was looking at Nate Ament stuff last night. Why on earth is Nate Ament in the top 10? That just feels like you're automatically getting fired. That's like a suicidal pick, honestly. Like, yeah, I want to get fired. We'll draft Nate Ament 9th overall. Don't quite understand that. Haynes Steinbach, I am 100% in on. It just doesn't really make much sense for the Mavs, obviously. But Steinbach, I'm in. I'm there. I believe in him. Rebounding fucking demon. A good team's going to get him and really, really appreciate what he does. And he's from Würzburg, Germany, by the way. Hello. PL. Pussy liquor. With the 199, when am I getting into the slightly Hall of Fame chud? Probably never. You've got too many scandals, man. Sorry. We're a small circle Hall of Fame group here. Small circle. Nate Ament was top 5 before the season, but man, he should return to raise his stock. Yeah, you can already tell Slightly thinks the Thunder gets Steinbach. Hell yeah, baby. That would be really nice, though. Steinbach can kind of, theoretically, can kind of be like a Hartenstein sort of replacement. Braylon Mullins. How is Braylon Mullins so high? Because he shoots nothing but threes and he makes them, and he's got pretty good size. And I was looking into this yesterday. There are some people who say that he had like similar hamstring type injuries, right, to Darren Peterson at the beginning of the season. That might have zapped some of the extra stuff he can do. I do have to ask this question: if Con Knippel wasn't as good as he is right now, is Braylon Mullins in the top 11? Right, white guy shoot 3. I saw Con Knippel, white guy shoot 3. He's very good. Okay, next white guy shoot 3. We need him on the team. But he's an interesting player. Yeah, he gets a good amount of steals and blocks for their guard. So, yeah, and he's got good athleticism. Now, I was looking at him yesterday, and I'm like, yeah, to me, I could see him being a 12, 13-year NBA player, 100%. LeBaron Philon, again, I'm pretty intrigued by. Like, I got to be real. I'm more intrigued by him than some of these other guards. But offensively, what he's capable of doing, mixed with the fact that at the very least, and yeah, 175 is what he's listed as. That's crazy. And he had a terrible combine last year in terms of athleticism stuff. But we did see him be a decent defender in his freshman year. And then the usage ticked up. So, I don't know. Yaxel, so Yaxel, if the Mavs had the 8th pick, and it came down to between Acuff and Yaxel, I'm fairly certain. Yaxel, I'm fairly certain will be a better NBA player. Only problem is he's going to be 24 years old when next season starts. Right? He's going to be 24. But he looks fantastic. Yeah. I know he's 24. I get that. But so a team like the Spurs, Hornets, yeah, take him to the glue factory. Spurs, Hornets, one of these teams that'll have a pretty solid pick will take him. And I mean, I don't know. I think a guy like him could start. Imagine Yaxel. Imagine this right now. Right now, Yaxel instead of Miles Bridges. I don't know. How bad do you think racial profiling affects scouting? Kind of bad. And I think that's where I'm at. Thomas Ha, is that how you pronounce that? I don't really know. He's going to be 23 years old. He looks kind of interesting, though, but kind of similar to Yaxel. Like, you know what you're getting. You know what you're getting. Yeah, the Mavs wouldn't do that, though, is what I'm saying. Lil Ness with the 499. Slightly here. I'm actually 5'2" in real life, hence my hate towards short guards. To clarify, this was not a dono from Lil Nesso, 100% all slightly. So that was me reading a donation. That is not me saying that. I am not 5'2" in real life. Again, I'm shockingly tall. Shockingly tall. Taking Dorian Finney-Smith over Garland, basically. Again, so this is kind of where I'm going back to Acuff. If Garland is the guy you're like, yes, Acuff becomes Darius Garland. Darius Garland was just traded by his team for James Harden. He wasn't traded for a ginormous haul. He was traded for a 35-year-old James Harden. His team never made the conference finals. And he was a big reason for that because of how poor he was defensively and how much he shrunk in the playoffs, and that's coming from a DG fan. Okay, just something to think about. For injury, though, and again, with these small guards, if they get 1 foot injury, they're fucked, and their career is destroyed, basically. And I'm just being truthful. I'm just being honest. Yeah, no, Acuff isn't really like Darius Garland, though. But again, it's a small guard conundrum. Like you, all of these guys you mentioned, like, well, you can turn into this. All of these guys haven't had any real actual success. I think Jalen Brunson's time is soon to be one of these two small guards. Yeah, Jalen Brunson this year has been a little concerning, and I love my guy, right? Jalen Brunson really is like the peak right now. And again, think about all of the steps that the Knicks have had to take to hide some of the defensive deficiencies, and it doesn't help that they have Cat. To be totally fair, like to be totally fair to Brunson, it does not help that they have Cat.
Cat helps no one.
Yeah, Cat is, and Cat, has been good offensively and stuff, but like, yeah, defensively, it's difficult. It's difficult. Koa Pete seems interesting to me. Again, these aren't guys that, the Mavs will be interested in. Quaytance, I'd love him. And this guy's right up my fucking alley, man. Right up my alley. Only problem is, Mavs don't need a big really like this. And two, there's no way, with Derek Lively, there's no way in hell I'm taking another big with lower body issues. No way. Someone else can experience that. We have our own. We don't need. So I'm interested to get to Tyler Tanner because some people love him. Some people absolutely love him. I'm interested to see what that's all about. Some people love Swain, Elijah Arenas. That'd be some shit the Mavs do, dude. That'd be some shit. Acuff and Elijah Arenas. Call it a day. How about that? How about that draft, guys? Acuff 6 overall. Acuff 6 overall. Quaytance. Guys, I'm just a Texan. It's hard for me to say some things.
It's supposedly like acquaintance.
Acquaintance. That'd actually be nice. Acuff and Elijah Arenas. Hey guys, clip this or mark it down. If the Mavericks in a couple months walk out of the first round with Darius Acuff and Elijah Arenas, we will do an 8-hour live stream where we do nothing but Cooper Flag mock trades. Okay, go ahead and mark that down and write that down. 8 hours, nothing but Cooper Flag mock trades because we're probably only a couple months away from it. It'd be something unprecedented. It'd be the first time a second-year player ever demanded a trade, and we'd give it to him. So there you go. Small guards are high floor, get you to playoff stars, but in theory, our floor will already be high because Coop will be a top 10 player. And that's sort of where I'm at. If you really believe in Coop, you're building for something a little bit more than, well, this small guard is good for us. Last time we made the joke, Luka got traded. No, last time it was for Cat. Saw the on the edge, the lottery could push him off. Oh, man. What do you have? Dude, he's shooting like 35. Isn't he like 35% from the field or something insane? We don't need that. We really don't. These guys don't. This isn't what works in the NBA, man. Like, it's not. Inefficient shot chuckers. We see them come and go. Best of luck. Best of luck in your journey. Okay? Best of luck. Man, shout out to my guy JT Toppin. Unfortunate that this has happened to him. Yeah, what is Elijah Arenas shooting from the field? Oh, that's good. 34%. Hell yeah, man. Draft them. 30th overall. Acuff and Arenas, whatever. Who gives a fuck? Who cares anymore? We just want aura and hype. 21% from 3. Aura, hype. That's it. We're just going aura and hype. That's going to be my draft strategy moving forward. That'll be it. So sad Coop hasn't looked good since coming back. Yeah, hopefully tonight the Mavs play the Grizzlies. I'm already envisioning a nightmare scenario. Is PJ for Adu Thero and Lakers 26 first a fair trade? Okay. I would do that in a heartbeat. I don't think the Lakers would, though. Aura and Hype will still win more games than the Kings, right? Maybe. Hype and Aura. Oh, okay. Sure. And the thing is, A-Cuff's going to have a ton of hype and Aura during the tournament. A-Cuff is good. He's good. He's a very good player. Very good college player. Okay? I'm just worried about that archetype over the course of the history of the NBA. You have to be so special for it to work. And even when it works, it does seem as though your ceiling is pretty capped. And I don't want to penalize guys for not winning, because winning is so hard. Right? Like somebody in a kind of group chat argument we were having earlier today, somebody brought up Dame. And I'm like, it feels bad to say, but it's like Dame made one conference finals in a very tough conference on a team that just wasn't that great. So that's not really necessarily fair to him, but one conference finals and then got traded. So it's scary. It's scary how much it has to go right for these guys. And I asked this. In theory, like right now, hypothetically, would you rather draft a complete Derek White clone in the draft or a Damian Lillard clone? I'm interested to hear y'all's argument, because it sounds kind of blasphemous. Because Dame was behind Steph. Like Dame, unfortunately, was there during Steph and James Harden, like kind of peak years. So Dame was second, third fiddle to those guys, when in some years he'd have been the best guard in the NBA. Boozer is a Sabonis clone, but like Boozer's shooting 40% from three. So you just think that the shooting is not going to translate whatsoever, because Sabonis is not shooting threes. That's out. And also, like, Boozer's graded out to be a good, and I get all of the physical limitations for him that might make you second guess that. Did you catch the best nickname for Knipple? It's going to be an all-timer. Hint movie reference. No, I did not. I like the big areola, though. That's pretty funny. No, I wouldn't trade Boozer for Coop. If we didn't have Coop, Lillard, and a heartbeat. Yeah, I guess it really kind of depends on what you need. Right? Coop did shoot 38% from three. College, now it's looking rough. Yeah, but Coop, it's been a weird year shooting-wise for Coop, because it was bad, and that kind of mirrored his college season, where it started out really bad. Then it started to pick up for him, and then he got hurt, and now it's really bad. Con Air. He doesn't dunk, though. Like, you got to be a dunker if you have Air in your name. Genghis Khan's pretty good. Big Areola is pretty unmatched so far, but I mean, they're not going to say that on ESPN, though. It would be kind of crazy if they did. All right, a couple things to close this out. Matt wanted to know if I wanted to talk about this. Live Nation, man, these fucking guys, man. Internal messages from Live Nation revealed 2 execs talking about robbing fans blind. What exactly is Live Nation does? What ticketing services do they own?
Basically all of them.
They basically own all of the ticketing services. So I don't want to like say any ones that they're not owned by, but the StubHubs that just take pics. These people are so stupid. I almost feel bad taking advantage of them, one says. That man is now the head of ticketing for the unit responsible for Live Nation's 150 amphitheaters. So the reason why, and here's another quote. I actually read this article earlier. In another exchange, he bragged about charging $50 for parking in the grass and $60 for closer grass. So the reason I'm not really going to spend much time talking about this is because out of respect for this network that we're trying to build and grow, I can't. Like, we're trying to get advertisers and stuff. I can't speak on this. I can't say what should happen to these people. Okay. I don't think by terms of service, I'm allowed to say it. So therefore, I'm going to be a little restrained here. Some people ask why sometimes I don't give my opinions on certain things. It's for this exact reason. I don't think I'm allowed to say it. I don't think I'm allowed to say what should happen to these people.
Did this get you Jim grunting? That was what I was hoping by sending you this story.
I was Jim grunting. I'm imagining a scenario where we're in a public space and we've through the legal process. We've gone through some sort of legal process, and there's just stones are readily available, and I don't know what's going to happen with them, but that's sort of what I'm envisioning, right? So, anyways,
televised or no?
televised on every IMAX theater. Actually, let's broadcast them in the amphitheaters. How about that? 150 amphitheaters. We're going to broadcast it on all of them.
Let's do the ticketing through Live Nation.
Ticketing through Live Nation. That's right.
Charge parking.
It really is fucking egregious. I don't know, how are these buying the ticketing stuff is seriously one of the most fucked up industries that makes no sense at all. I mean, and they seriously rob you blind in front of your face. It really is one of the fact that there hasn't been a revolution in the streets because of these things just shows we are cattle. We're docile. It does not matter. We'll roll over to anything. It's like, what is this $300 ticketing fees? Sure. I don't know what the hell I'm paying for, but yeah, whatever. I want to go watch, Somber in concert.
What are you talking about? I love convenience fees.
I wish I knew you wanted me. Is that Somber? What song is Somber? The TikTok guy. Dude, this one is hilarious. Dicks in my ass. I love it, man. And you know what? He should not acknowledge this at all. He should keep this up and be like, no, man, I like Dixon quite a bit. Like, just keep going with it. And then people are like, is there a He's like, you guys don't know who Dicks in my ass is? You guys are not grinding tape, man. Get serious. Get serious. There was something else. I kind of wanted to poop on the Raptors and the Rockets just because I think their seasons are cooked. What the hell, Siri? What the hell's going on? My phone's just playing things. Oh, he's the back to being friends, guys. Okay, that's him. How can we go? Best of luck, guys. I don't know what this donation is going to say. Pussy Liquor with the $1.99. If we don't get top 4, we should be MB our Burries. Okay. That was the most normal one you've said. That is the most normal donation that you've ever sent. And I'm here for that. So no love for LeBaron. We're just out on him. Isn't it weird how Genghis Khan is such a normal name, and today there's even a Genghis Grill, but he killed so many people? Yes, that is kind of strange. It does make me wonder in centuries down the line. I've mentioned before, like, there's a karaoke bar in Lubbock, Texas named Adolph's. I don't know if it still exists, but it was there. It does make me question centuries down the line. It's like, yeah, it's just a historic figure. Doesn't matter, really. See what Jokic said about Euro fans who say Euro defense is better than the NBA. Clip in the Discord. Clip in the cord. Have you tried the new Daily Stat Pad game? No, I haven't. I have not. Actually, it could be fun. I'm at the risk of embarrassing myself.
Kada ljudi kažu,
when people say, man,
to kad ljudi kada to ne
5 minutes all in Serbian. Can we get a translated TLDR?
Yeah, what are we doing?
5 minutes all in Serbian. I don't know. What did he say? Can we just get a summary? Wow, when has Jokic done? When has Jokic done? Well, we have audio listeners, so I'm not going to play this out loud. But when has Jokic done like a sit-down interview like this? Feels kind of rare, huh? Rarefied air. It's really funny NBA athletes because Jokic looks like a very in shape, like athlete in this. But when he's on the court, sometimes it does look a little lardy. Basically, says NBA players would cook Euro guards. Yeah, I mean, it's a different style of play. Courts are smaller there. You're allowed to defensive goaltend, basically. It is a little bit different. And they do let you get away with stuff. Although I will say this, the whole idea that in Europe you're allowed to literally do whatever you want. You can kill people on the floor and they won't call it. Dude, you cannot fool us, man. I'm a big Euro Cup. You guys know that. I'm a big Euro basket guy. I watch the games. I don't agree. There's some insane grifting going on in that tournament. Some insane grifting. Says he hates the narratives that NBA players don't play defense. Yeah, I mean, that's just, at this point in time, that's just insane. So either you're going to stream the Mavs last one of the season tonight. Yeah, unfortunately. But again, does Chuckley hate me? Chuckley. Oh, Cuckley. Okay. Look at this, dude. All right. I always, baseball? I don't know. Oh, there is an NBA one. Oh, no, MLB and NFL. Is there not an NBA one? Oh, I'm not going to know. What is this? Category, pitching. Washington Nationals, 2010 to 25. So what? I have to pick a Washington Nationals pitcher? This could be fun when there's an NBA version. I will be terrible at it. I'm so bad at these, and then it embarrasses me, and I don't want to do them publicly just because I want to save, the embarrassment. But yeah, we will be live for the Mavericks game tonight. Unfortunately. All right, that's really all I had again. I kind of wanted to shit on... Oh, actually, should we look at the Oscars ballot? I wanted to shit on the Rockets. I think their season's over. They got throttled last night. Huge embarrassment against the Nuggets. The worst loss in the Ime Udoka era. Done with them. They're done. I don't think they would win against anybody in a playoff series at this point in time. I wanted to say goodbye to the Toronto Raptors because what happened at the end of that game was a disgrace, right? Disgusting move by DeJounte Murray. Disgusting. And the Raptors have been scuffling for quite a bit of time now. It's been quite a bit of time since the Toronto Raptors have been good. And Jamal Shead gets dropped. DeJounte Murray hits a three, stands over him, screams in his face, gets teed up. And in credit to Emmanuel Quickley, who immediately went over there to try and put, to try and defend his young guy. What's the age difference between Emmanuel Quickley and Jamal Shead, by the way? Because Jamal Shead was a guy who stayed in college a bit, didn't he?
He had to be at least 24 by the time he left, I would think.
Oh, he's 23.
23 now? Okay.
And how old is Quickley? 26. All right, yeah, he's got to stand up for his young guy. And nobody else did. I mean, that should have sparked a fight. That should have sparked some type of brawl, or at least a fake brawl, right? And the Timberwolves, by the way, 3 straight ass whoopings. They got destroyed last night by Kawhi Leonard, who's just a god amongst men, and the Clippers. Don't know. I don't know where I'm at with them, man. I have no clue where I'm at. Why weren't you invited to interview Max Christie on Locked On? What would you have asked him? I don't want to do player interviews, really, to be honest with you. I don't mind doing like former player interviews, but yeah, I don't know what I would have asked him. Probably something stupid. Clips turnaround is crazy. Yeah, they're a little spooky. Would you pick the Rockets to beat the Clippers in a playoff series? Absolutely not. Why on earth would you? There's no reason to. Not backing down from no smoke. Yeah, DeJounte's... Yeah. All right, let's look at this Oscars ballot real quick. This is on Sunday. So I want to give my predictions. Play the Oscars music. We don't have any Oscars music. That'd be sick, though. Let's see. I haven't watched all of these, but we're going to go through them. And I'm actually interested to hear y'all's take as well. I'm just going to go based off of the movies I've seen. And I've seen a good amount of these, though, to be fair. But some of the more Oscar-y ones I haven't seen. Actor in leading role. Where are we going to have that? Our boy Timothy Chalamet. What's up with his controversy right now? They're mad at him for something on the internet. I saw him in China, carefree. He's got the Marty Supreme jacket that was in Mandarin.
He hated He hated on the opera.
Oh yeah, that's
so
right.
So we got to cancel him.
He said the opera ballet thing. I don't know.
How dare him? You were outraged.
I was really, as a huge ballet fan, I said, no, sir. No, sir, Timmy. You do not come at the ballet like that. But, so he's probably going to lose now because of that. Leo in One Battle After Another. Ethan Hawke in Blue Moon. Didn't see it. Michael B. Jordan, Sinners. He's a favorite to win this now, I believe. And Wagner Moura from Secret Agent. Everyone says he's incredible in that. My personal pick out of the ones I've seen here would be Leo. That movie's incredible. He's so funny in that movie. He has like 50 quotable moments. Timothy Chalamet, all these guys are good. I won't mind Michael B. Jordan winning it.
Just for the ×2 multiplier, I think Michael B. Jordan's going to get it.
Yeah, my only thing with that, though, is how different were those characters, though?
I mean, not much because they're twins.
Yeah. I think it was a great performance. It would be cool to see Michael B. Jordan win it. Like, that's sort of where I'm at. But I think Leo is the best out of all of those 3 that I've seen.
What's your prediction?
My prediction is Leo. Fuck it.
Leo, fuck it. Got it down.
I don't know. There are odds for this. There are like legit odds. So I wonder what they are. Actor in supporting role. Benicio del Toro. He'd win it for me. One Battle After Another. I'm a One Battle After Another stand. Jacob Elordi in Frankenstein. What is my memory of Jacob Elordi is from Frankenstein. He's in that movie a lot, isn't he? Like, that's kind of crazy to me that he's supporting, but idiot takes. Thank you. Delroy Lindo from Sinners. He was awesome in that. Sean Penn, One Battle After Another, and Stellan Skarsgård in Sentimental Value. I love Stellan Skarsgård so much. So he's such a good actor. Sean Penn is pretty damn good in this one. Sean Penn feels pretty hard to beat in this category. Wouldn't you say so?
I would agree. What's your prediction?
My prediction would be Sean Penn. Is it possible for you to pull up the odds on this and then tell us after?
Stand by.
Benicio del Toro, just not in that movie very much, is he? Like, he kind of comes in later in it and isn't in it too often.
It's like one of the most badass parts, but yeah, I mean, he's just such a small segment. He's just so memorable, where Sean Penn's throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, and Sean Penn is an idiot. Like, he's an idiot kind of comedic character in this, but it does work for me. Elordi was really good as Frankenstein, though. And I thought that movie was pretty solid, but yeah, he was cool. I've had a few small biz. Classic. Actress and leading role, I have to be completely and totally transparent. I'm looking at the movies here, and I haven't seen any of them. So I don't know. Best of luck to all of our ladies here. Hamnet is just one of those movies where it's just a movie that's difficult for me to get to watch. Because I know the story. I know what happens in the movie. And it's just, I don't know, man. I know there's obviously places for that. And there's times where it's like, yeah, I'm going to go to the movies and cry. Like, that's what I need to do right now. For me, it's always difficult to muster up the courage to go to those.
Looks like Jessie Buckley is the faraway favorite.
Okay, so there you go. Jessie Buckley for Hamnet. I did hear that she was incredible in that movie. Like, absolutely incredible. I heard Emma Stone was incredible, too, in Begonia, which I am going to watch.
She was. You should watch.
Yeah, I guess I am. I guess I'm sexist. I mean, misogyny here. I haven't seen any of these ladies' movies. I'm sorry, ladies.
Yeah, you walked in and said, I don't do ladies' movies.
I said, no. Ew. Actress? No. In
a lead? Is that even a thing?
Actress in supporting role. Ellie Fanning in Sentimental Value. Man, Sentimental Value's got a ton of noms here for the actors and actresses. I need to watch that. That's on the list. That's on the short list. This is great content. I haven't seen half of these movies. Amy Madigan, Weapons, the aunt, the spoiler alert, witch, and Weapons. Wouldn't be
you can do it.
Masaku, Sinners. Personally, and Tiana Taylor in One Battle After Another. She would be my pick. Wouldn't be Masaku. Would be my pick from out of the ones I've seen here. She to me was like the emotional heartbeat of that movie in some ways. Like, she was so good, and her scenes were just so, I don't know, heartfelt and impactful in the movie. That she would be my winner for me personally. I can't believe would he be lead, the like young guy from Sinners? I don't remember his name. It was like the first thing he's ever done, really, like his first acting gig.
Yeah, and he's an actual musician, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he was incredible in that movie. I'm kind of surprised he's not getting.
Leading odds and supporting actress is Amy Madigan.
Okay.
Weapons.
Yeah, she's won all of like the other award shows. She was good in that. I saw a TikTok of the scene where she's telling the kid that if he tells anybody about her that she's going to eat the parents or force the parents to eat each other or whatever it was. I was like, oh shit, that was kind of sick. Weapons to me was kind of a swing and miss. I personally didn't love it, but I just didn't. Again, spoiler alert, this movie's been out a while. I did not like the witch twist.
There was too many women.
Yeah, too many women. Man, I'm out. No, I didn't like the twist being that she was a witch. I thought it was going to be like kind of deeper than that. I don't know. I thought for sure we were going a different direction.
I'm with you. It took me a second though. I did buy in by the end of it, but
yeah,
I
there's
was like,
definitely
all right,
some,
this is what we're doing. Okay.
And it became like it was a fun movie. Don't get me wrong. It was fun. The thing is, I didn't think it was going to be fun. I thought it was going to be like deep, like oh shit. But
yeah, I thought they were going to make a point.
Yeah.
About something, which I think they did in the first half, but I thought they were going to be really nailing that home by the end. But I was like, oh, it's a witch. Okay, got it.
Yeah, I thought for sure we were going school shooting analogy, which, they did in The Dream with the AR coming out over the thing. But animated feature film, I've only seen Zootopia 2 and K-Pop Demon Hunters. Wow, would K-Pop Demon Hunters win? The K-Pop Demon Hunters was pretty sick.
It is sick.
Zootopia 2 is actually a great movie.
I haven't seen it yet, but Guy with Kids means I will definitely see it at some point.
Animated short film. Haven't seen any of these. Best of luck to it. Casting. All of these other ones are ones that are a little too deep into the weeds.
K-pop is the favorite, by the way.
K-pop is the favorite. Good for them. Best picture. Begonia. F1 being here is insane to me. But okay. Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Train Dreams. Let me guess what that favorite is. One Battle After Another. Is it the favorite?
I hate how this website's set up. It is the favorite. Yep.
That would be the one I pick, obviously, out of all of these. It was incredible. F1. What is F1 doing here? That's like a polar bear in Arlington.
So they expanded the amount of nominations to get in the movie, the summer blockbusters, F1s and whatever, Top Guns of the world.
Okay. Top Gun should have been was Top Gun nominated that? It should have been. That movie was unreal.
I can't remember if that's why they changed it because
Top Gun
it wasn't
should have
nominated.
won.
I love that movie.
F1 was kind of fun. It was way too long. And I've said this before on here. The little side plot that became kind of the main plot by the end, where the guy from Game of Thrones, I forgot his name in the movie, swoops in and is trying to do a hostile takeover of the F1 team. Like that did not need to be in the movie at all. It was so uninteresting. It came out of nowhere, and I was like, what the fuck's going on? There's already an interesting enough story here of these two guys trying to mesh. And the crash happened. Like, that's already a cool enough story by itself. I didn't need the other one. Maverick deserved to be nominated. Could have won. F1 doesn't. Yeah. I mean, F1's not going to win out. That would be hilarious. Can you imagine if F1 won? Yeah, fuck it. F1. Everyone's like, what? We did? They didn't even show up to the award ceremony. Yeah, I pick One Battle After Another, but I don't really care. Out of all of these movies, Frankenstein is a little bit... I don't know if I can get behind Frankenstein winning, personally, but... Sinners, I think, would be awesome if that one. Marty Supreme was great.
We need to know your take on costume design.
Costume design. Who are our Avatar, Fire and Ash, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, and Sinners? I have to imagine Frankenstein is the favorite here. It's a monster.
I don't know. Don't you remember all those avatars?
How does that work? How does costume design work in Avatar? Aren't they mostly green screened?
Yes, they are.
Man,
and mostly CGI.
Avatar, Fire and Ash should not be nominated and not be cut for anything. And let me explain why. Fine movie, way too similar to the second movie. I cannot. The ending scene is like a complete and total one-of-one replica of the second movie. But the fucking Spider, the Tarzan kid. This movie cost $1 trillion to make. $1 trillion. You couldn't have just recasted that kid. You couldn't have said, all right, Spider, thank you, man. Listen, we're just going to be truthful. Your acting chops aren't up to par. And for whatever reason, you're like a pretty big character in this movie, arguably like the main character of this film. We in good faith cannot have you going out there. We just can't do it. We owe it to the people who have spent billions of dollars on this movie. We can't let you come in and act in that much movie. It's insane. No, that's true. Yeah. Okay. We'll give VFX Avatar. It does look insane. It really does. It's one of those things where it's like you think to yourself, because the story's not incredible. It's nothing groundbreaking or anything like that. And you think to yourself, there's no way this looks this good. And then you go see it and you're like, wow, that how the fuck did they just do that?
You can't have everything, you know?
Like the water, I like that they do the water, and that's them flexing, is doing all the water stuff, because it looks unbelievable. Unbelievable how good it looks. And because of that, it's a fun time. But again, the Tarzan kid, man, really? You couldn't have found anyone else? So I actually learned this week in the lead up to this that Frankenstein has a lot of haters. This movie does.
That's usually consistent with that director.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
It's bipolar.
I thought it was good. Like, I thought Jacob Elordi was really good. I thought Oscar Isaac was really good. Am I like now, to be fair, I'm not like super up on the Frankenstein
lore, canon.
Not necessarily lore, but I haven't seen all the adaptations. So I don't know if it's worse or better than anything else. And then Mia Goth is just like mesmerizing on the screen. She's kind of like Anya Taylor-Joy, where it's like, obviously, beautiful woman, Not sexist here, guys.
Couldn't be a lead in the film though. Is your take, right?
No. But like when they're on the screen, you're just like they're just magnetizing. You just stare at them. And it's just like, wow, this person just. I can't take my eyes off of them, and not in like a weird, creepy way. You guys get what I'm saying? Are you gonna watch a new Scream movie? I've seen people say it's the worst movie of all time, so maybe not. Same with The Bride, of Frankenstein. Oscar should be canceled because of the war in the Middle East. Oscar Isaac?
Yeah, let's get Oscar Isaac out of here, dude.
Oh, you mean the Oscars should be canceled? Yeah, good luck them ever doing that shit.
Well,
no
you
way.
could have admitted there.
It's way more likely you get some absolutely disgusting pro-war propaganda that comes out of that ceremony versus it being canceled, unfortunately. The Tarzan kid was in Scream 6, looks much older. That's true. That is true about in Avatar's defense. They did shoot those movies back to back, didn't they? Like years ago. I wonder at which point during filming they were like, dude, this kid sucks. Because you know it gets said. You know they're in the back like, dude, he's horrible.
Big smoke break, just woof.
So we're going to talk about Spider? Or oh, man.
All right, what's your international feature film take?
International feature film. I'm assuming Secret Agent and Sentimental Value. Oh, well, it was just an accident. I heard was fantastic, too.
I don't know any of these. I didn't even know you had anything.
Surat is the movie where they're stuck at the rave, right? Wow. That feels like a pretty loaded international film category.
International film expert, slightly biased.
Visual effects, I've got Jurassic World.
Poor Avatar. Spider killed it for you.
Let's give it to Jurassic World, and that'll be that.
Where does Wuthering Heights end up on this?
Well, that'll be in next year's nominees. Wuthering Heights, let's get Best Picture. Let's get Jacob Elordi, Best Actor. We're not nominating my girl Margot Robbie because she's better than that. She's better than that movie.
She's got skins on the wall. She could do whatever she wants.
True. Yeah. She's better. She's better than what got put out in that piece of dog shit horrible movie called Wuthering Heights. And this week I'm going to see Project Hail Mary. Can't wait. And then next Tuesday I'm going to see Hoppers.
Go to wide. Are
you in on Hoppers?
Yeah, I think I'm actually I might take the eldest kid to Hoppers. I'm with you. I love the Pixar stuff.
Pixar just really doesn't miss much. It's usually pretty good. Thank you guys for coming out. Busy show today. I don't know. I really cannot believe we got nearly an hour and a half. That's crazy to me that we've been recording that long. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys like it. All of that great stuff. We'll be live on Slightly Biased today to watch the Dallas Mavericks. Woohoo! Can't wait. All right. See you guys next week. Love you all. Bye-bye.
Who's it gonna be? One more! My brain's gonna explode. There's something sinister afoot, absolutely.
Security at the Haymaker Network is provided by Smith Thompson. Secure your home now at smiththompson.com. Iron Ball!